Okay guys, here we are again today on the fence row, and with us today we have Russ Capilana, also known as winged sumac. Let's go ahead and give it a look. Go ahead and break this and get out of the wind. Okay, Russ Capilana is winged sumac. There are several different sumacs that we find that's native here to Georgia, but this is the one I found today on the fence row, and for our field days we just call it sumac. The three that we have here in Georgia are going to be winged sumac. Some folks call it shining sumac, which this is. Also, you have something called a smooth sumac. We'll talk a little bit about it and the differences. Something called staghorn sumac. I believe some folks call it buckhorn sumac. And also, which some old hands refer to it not being a true sumac, but poison sumac and or thunderwood. And we'll talk about how to identify it, and I know where some is, and I'll show you how to identify it so you do not touch it. It is worse on somebody than poison oak and or ivy. But let's go ahead and look at the winged sumac that we have today. Okay, winged sumac, if we look at it, it's going to be a compound leaf. Alright, when I say compound leaf, there's the petiole where it starts, and it has leaflets. Supposedly, these compound leaves, when they get full grown, they're going to be from 8 to 18 inches in length. You see, that's just erupted and just came out, so it don't have 8 to 18. Also, these leaflets are supposed to be from 1 to 2 inches in length with a smooth margin. Yes, it does. And if you look at them, they're shiny. That's where it kind of gets its name, shining sumac. Also, if you look on the rassica, it has little wings all on the rassica. That's where it gets the name winged sumac, and that's where some folks call it shining sumac. On the back side, it's going to be pale, and yes, it is. And when this leaf gets full grown, it may have between 7 and 21 leaflets. So that's going to be 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. So this one has 9 leaflets on it. Margins are going to be, like I said before, margins are going to be smooth. It's a compound leaf. It's got a winged rassica. And if you look where it's erupted at, it's going to be kind of glabrous and hairy. Okay, this is our winged sumac. For you old hands out there, this is just call it sumac. Poison sumac, on the other hand, will look like a young ash tree, but they're just like this. They will be alternate instead of opposites. Okay, ash will always be opposites, but poison sumac, just like all our sumacs, we're going to be alternate. Okay, so poison sumac looks like a young ash tree, but they will be opposites instead of alternate. Okay, staghorn sumac, winged sumac, and smooth sumac will always be alternates. Shining sumac and winged sumac are considered the same thing. Smooth sumac looks just like this, except it does not have a winged rassica, and it's not shiny. You mostly see it in, I guess, the northern parts of the state. Okay, the buckhorn sumac and or staghorn sumac, you'll see that further north as well, and most of them are going to have serrate margins, and as we said, the shining or winged sumac and smooth sumac have a smooth margin. Sumac really does not have any uses except for possibly feeding wildlife. It doesn't need to be planted, but believe it or not, this tree is widely used and planted as an ornamental. Beautiful fall colors, but is one of those trees that hold the world together here in Georgia, and for all practical purposes, we need to know it. This is winged sumac, or shining sumac, but for the field day list, we're just going to call it sumac.